The coaching leadership style is one of the 6 styles based on emotional intelligence, defined by Daniel Goleman. By watching this video, you will learn what coaching leadership is, together with the advantages and disadvantages of this style. We teach you the elements of coaching leadership, as well as a few tips on how to become good at it. Coaching leadership is when a leader coaches team members to develop themselves. Coaching leadership focuses on improving employees to become better individuals and professionals in the long term. Coaching leadership can be difficult and time-consuming. We often limit coaching to the world of sports, despite its numerous applications in other areas of leadership. Coaching leadership has the power to influence ordinary people to do extraordinary things in sports, business, institutions, sales, and many other fields. Coaching leadership is explained by Daniel Goleman as a method of developing team members over time, even if the short-term results drop. This creates engagement, builds relationships, and improves the future output of the team member being coached. Before we go through the elements of coaching leadership, please take the opportunity to like this video and subscribe to our channel, we'd really appreciate it. Coaching is an art. It is complex, and it is easy to fail at. Some key elements and characteristics are required in order to create a success-enabling platform. Coaching leadership depends heavily on the leader's ability to direct and support. Collaboration. A coach won't create a successful team if the team doesn't collaborate. It's less about maintaining hierarchy and status, and more about supporting what's best for the team. Sure, the coach will give direction to help team members develop their skills, but this is still within a collaborative environment. Coaching mindset. Helping people become their best selves isn't a simple task. A coach should think creatively about approaching the coaching process to develop each team member, so the team collectively achieves the best result. It's a process of great commitment and sacrifice, but the final outcome of this creative effort can be life-changing. Having a coaching mindset also requires that the leader believes he or she can have true impact on another individual. Scaffolding. Scaffolding is a term used in education to describe how various techniques can be used to develop students towards greater understanding and greater independence. The best coaches know that their guidance should gradually be reduced so that each team member develops a greater sense of autonomy. Feedback. Team members won't know how well or how poorly they're doing unless they receive feedback. Constructive criticism is necessary for their growth. Coaches know how to use the task-behavior component of coaching leadership to appropriately express their feedback. Team members, in turn, are receptive because they know that this feedback will help them improve their skills. If the individual being coached is not open to feedback, the coaching leadership style is very unlikely to work. Self-motivation. Coaching leadership is a two-way street. Coaches should be willing to sacrifice their time to motivate team members to hone their skills and become the best versions of themselves. However, team members should also have a high level of self-motivation, especially as the coach begins to give them a greater sense of autonomy. It is very difficult to coach an individual who isn't motivated to improve and grow. Empathy and trust. As in so many other leadership styles, we come back to empathy being a pillar in leadership. In order to coach well, a leader needs to understand the person being coached on an emotional level. Through empathy, the leader can calibrate how to challenge and develop the individual and know when to adjust the pressure on performance. Empathy also enables gathering feedback through body language and the personal circumstances of the individual being coached. Mastering these different aspects will help you to become a really good coaching leader. A video on a leadership style is incomplete without listing its advantages and disadvantages. I want to underline that coaching leadership is one out of 6 leadership styles that should be used together. If you use only one of the 6, you will set yourself up to fail since different situations will require different leadership styles. If you like the idea of coaching leadership, be sure to watch our full video on the 6 leadership styles. There is a link in the description and the end of this video. The pros of coaching leadership. People enjoy working with coaching leaders. Coaches help people improve their skills so that they can perform at their best. Therefore, coaching leaders can create a work environment where people are highly motivated, eager to learn, and willing to collaborate. People enjoy being at work, which results in low employee turnover. Coaching leads to clear expectations. Team members don't have to guess what they're required to do. With the coaching leadership style, their coach makes expectations clear and guides the team members towards developing the skills needed to accomplish their tasks and long-term goals. Having that support makes meeting those expectations easier. Coaching gives an organization a competitive advantage. Coaching leadership requires a lot of personal mentorships to develop each team member's skills appropriately. As team members learn, they become more productive and are more likely to provide mentorship opportunities to others. In essence, people who have a coaching leader often become coaches themselves. This benefits the organization in the long term since a highly engaged and highly skilled workforce is a definite competitive advantage. Coaching can identify weaknesses and transform them into strengths. It may seem reasonable to argue that it's best to focus on a team's strengths and use them to the organization's advantage. However, a team's weaknesses can threaten everything an organization has built. Hence, the weaknesses also need to be addressed. Coaching leaders can quickly identify a team member's weakness and implement a plan to transform it into a strength or create awareness of the weakness so consequences can be limited. That's quite an impressive list of advantages. Let's also take a look at the negatives of coaching leadership. Before continuing, please like this video and subscribe to our channel, that way you won't miss any of our future videos. The disadvantages of coaching leadership. Coaching requires patience and lots of time. Imagine providing personal mentorship to a team of 100 people. Not only is it time-consuming, but it also requires a lot of patience. Managers often have too little time to complete their assigned tasks, much less to help each team member improve their skills. With this in mind, you must set a clear scope before deploying the coaching leadership style. One approach can be to coach the coaches of the future and thus create a spreading effect not requiring your personal involvement later. Prioritize who to coach. If you try to do everything at once, you might get zero impact in the end. Coaching is difficult. Few people are genuinely effective coaches. It requires confidence, experience, and the ability to give meaningful advice. Those who do it ineffectively threaten the growth of an organization. There is hope though, since you can learn how to become a better coach by using specific techniques and avoiding known pitfalls. Coaching is a two-way street. The coaching leadership style will only work if team members are committed to the process. Too much responsibility rests on the leader's shoulders if they aren't. There should be a strong commitment to collaboration and self-development early on in the coaching relationship. The person receiving the coaching must be motivated to develop and be willing to receive feedback. Coaching without good chemistry can impact progress. The team and the leader should work well together for the coaching leadership style to be effective. Before pairing up people for coaching, consider personality, experience, and what's really important for that coaching setup. Did you ever receive negative feedback from a person you don't respect? You probably either got defensive or simply disregarded the feedback. Most people are also less likely to listen to a person they perceive as rude or disrespectful. Those are examples when coaching will be very difficult. We will now give some advice on how to successfully implement the coaching leadership style. You can also visit our resource page for additional tips and tools. There's a link in the video description. Did you ever have a manager who coached you in a good way? Please share in the comments. How to use coaching leadership? The coaching leadership style works best with a highly skilled leader and team members receptive to change. Coaching leaders work well with employees who are willing to improve their skills to become better and more effective in their roles. To begin with, the coaching leadership style is for specific situations. It needs to be applied when the time is right, and when the circumstances for the coach and coachee are fitting. In other situations, you'd be better off using affiliative, visionary, or democratic leadership, for instance. These styles are all part of the same set of leadership styles as coaching leadership. Check out our video on the overall framework. It's essential to secure your success as a coaching leader. A stressful situation where decisions need to be immediate and consequences of error in judgment are severe would be a typical situation when coaching leadership shouldn't be used. After all, there is no room to fail, and there is not enough time to develop the right skills for handling the situation. Coaching leadership tends to work best in small teams, or with a subset of a larger team, where strong personal relationships can be developed. It becomes difficult to implement coaching leadership strategies with large groups since the leader can't connect on a deep and personal level with a large number of people. Here are 2 different ways to coach that I have personally used in my job as a leader of a senior management team. Informal, day-to-day coaching. When one of my direct reports have a problem, I rarely tell them what to do. Instead, I ask them questions along the following lines. Could there be more to this problem that you haven't found out yet? Do you have any plans on how to deal with the problem? Are there any downsides with your intended solution? Is there anything else you can do to solidify your ideas further? What do you need to execute successfully? Deeper and more long-term coaching. This would be the more profound development of an individual. Since I come from the business world, this often centers around career development and who the individual that is being coached wants to become or what they want to achieve. By asking for their long-term desires and wishes, you can agree on a common goal of realizing that vision together. Once the goal is set, the discussion can move towards questions such as, how can you achieve this? What do you see as development steps to get to that point? Can you break your goal down into smaller chunks? What do you need to change to enable this? Which of your strengths can be used, and which weaknesses might be hindering you? You can drill down further by asking the next layer of whys and hows, such as the following in the example of analyzing someone's weakness further. Why do you consider it a weakness? How has it negatively affected you? How can you limit the consequences of this? How can you remove the weakness or mitigate the effects of it somehow? You get the drill. I have been in both ends of this, and believe me, the answers often lie within the individuals. They just need to be poked and prodded to get the solutions out there and start working with them. For additional information and sources, please refer to the article on our website. There's a link available in the video description. Please make sure to watch the video on the 6 leadership styles by Daniel Goleman. It is by far the best and most useful leadership styles framework I have ever used in my career as a senior leader. It has helped me to reach new levels as a leader, and to grow my team into beating previous performance records. You can use it to become a better leader too. There is a lot more information on how to do this available on our website. Again, refer to the link in the description. Please like and subscribe, it sure would be appreciated. Thank you for watching, have a nice day. This video was brought to you by leadershipahoy.com.